This episode is brought to you by manure. I was out last week with the drone and flew across the field that I had been questioned last fall. And we get this question 2 or 3 times a year. And it goes usually something like this. Hey, Russ, we got a pretty good stand of wheat. Hey, what do you think about going out and putting manure over top of it? And fertility-wise, sure, manure is a fantastic source of fertility. And wheat sure does enjoy its fertility. So why not? But as you can see from this drone, there's a little different problem that has to be addressed, and that is the variability. And everybody that's spread manure knows there's a variability in application, depending upon the pattern you spread and on headlands, etc. When you turn. There's also variability in whether you're taking manure from the top of the tank or whether you're sucking it from the bottom of the tank. Obviously, the top doesn't have as much horsepower as the bottom. But again, livestock operators know that. The agronomist side of me then starts to get the heebie-jeebies because we don't know what is the appropriate rate of nitrogen to put across this field to make sure that we don't overapply N where there's a lot of manure and underapply N where there's very little manure or no manure. I have had the pleasure a number of years ago with a producer of recommending a rate of nitrogen that was too high for the amount of manure that was applied prior, and that wheat went flat as a pancake. Lesson learned. Having a manure sample, knowing the nutrient content, obviously the rate that it's applied, and the time of year, we do have book values that we can use to attempt to predict particularly the nitrogen availability of manure in the spring. The big problem with wheat is that it needs its nitrogen in May. And typically manure doesn't release a lot of nitrogen until the soils really warm up, tend to be a better, more reliable predictor of N with respect to the corn crop rather than the wheat crop. For a little different look, I took my drone and also flew an alfalfa field that had been drag lined, a different drag line system, different operator. But you can see basically, again, a similar situation with some swirls and uneven manure application rates across this field. It's going to be really interesting this summer. I'm going to be able to take my drone and also follow up on both of these fields through the course of the growing season. I hope I'm going to learn something. I'm sure I will. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and you all have a great week.